Most tractor deaths don't come from bad machines. They come from good farmers doing something they've done 100 times before. Just once, the timing was wrong. Like this guy who lost his $60,000 tractor to an easily avoidable rollover. Starting with the most common. 1. Lifting the loader too high while driving. It looks harmless enough, right? You lift the bucket high so you can see better, clear obstacles, or move a heavy load from one spot to another. But that's one of the most dangerous things you can do behind the wheel of a tractor. When you raise your loader, you raise your center of gravity, and even a small bump in the ground can send everything off balance. The higher that bucket goes, the easier it is for a tractor to sway, tilt, and tip. One sharp turn or hidden rut, and the entire machine can roll faster than you can even hit the brakes. Farmers underestimate how quickly it happens, especially on uneven ground or soft soil. Once that momentum takes over, you're no longer in control. It doesn't matter if you're driving a compact tractor or a heavy utility model. Physics always wins. Any tractor veteran will tell you to keep the loader as low as safely possible while driving. If you're moving heavy materials, use slow speeds and steady movements, keeping that bucket close to the ground to protect your stability. And if that doesn't sound risky enough, the next mistake makes your whole tractor feel like it's floating before it flips. 2. Skipping proper ballast weight and losing stability. A tractor without ballast is like a hammer without a handle, dangerous and unpredictable. Every time you scoop, lift, or haul something, the front end of your tractor is fighting gravity. Without the right weight at the back, that balance is gone. You'll feel it the moment the rear tires start to lift off the ground or when the steering suddenly feels light. That's the sound of disaster creeping in. Proper ballast weight through liquid-filled tires, wheel weights, or a rear attachment is what keeps your machine planted firmly on the earth. The problem is that most tractors leave the factory underweighted, and many owners never fix it until it's too late. It only takes one uneven load or a quick lift for the whole rig to tip forward, often faster than you can even react. Think of ballast as insurance against gravity. It's the counterforce that keeps everything steady. Even experienced farmers forget this, assuming a loader's power can make up for bad balance. But it can't. Keep that rear weight heavy, distribute it evenly, and you'll not only save your tractor, but possibly your life. Next up, we've got a mistake that happens when farmers confuse horsepower with speed. 3. Driving too fast for farm conditions. Speed might feel satisfying on an open lane, but tractors aren't built for it. These machines are heavy, top-loaded, and meant for control, not pace. The danger starts when operators rush through fieldwork or zip down gravel roads thinking they can handle it. A tractor's tires are wide and uneven, designed for grip, not traction at speed. The faster you go, the more every bump, dip, and hole becomes a threat to your stability. Add a loader or implement to the mix, and even a mild turn can shift your weight enough to cause a rollover. Many accidents happen within seconds. A hidden rut catches one wheel, momentum carries the rest, and before you know it, the whole rig is on its side. The trick is patience. Keep it in low range unless you're on completely flat, firm ground, and take corners like you're hauling glass. You'll finish slower, sure, but you'll actually finish. When it comes to tractors, fast is never smart, it's just dangerous. And if you thought going too fast was bad, wait till you hear about this next one. 4. Reaching near a spinning PTO shaft. The PTO shaft is one of the most deceptively deadly parts of any tractor. It's a spinning metal rod that transfers power to your attachments, but it also spins fast enough to catch a pant leg, a glove, or a loose sleeve in an instant. Once that happens, there's no pulling back. Farmers have lost arm, legs, and lives by leaning just an inch too close while trying to clear debris or adjust an implement. The scary part? It doesn't even look dangerous when it's running. That steady rotation can seem harmless until you realize it's turning hundreds of times per minute. Safety covers exist for a reason, yet many people remove them because they get in the way. That single shortcut can change everything. The safest move is simple. Turn the tractor off completely before you touch the PTO or anything attached to it. Don't rely on reflexes, you won't have time. Next up, we're talking about a mistake farmers make on purpose, and that's what makes it deadly. 5. Disabling or ignoring built-in safety features. You know those safety switches, seat belts, and parking brakes that feel like they're just there to annoy you? They're not. Modern tractors are packed with systems designed to stop motion when something's wrong, but a lot of farmers think they know better. Bypassing a seat switch so the engine doesn't shut off when you stand up might save you a few seconds, but it also removes one of your last lines of defense. That same system prevents a tractor from jerking forward if a lever is bumped, or from moving while a PTO is still engaged. And skipping your seatbelt when your roll bar is up? That's practically inviting a rollover injury. These small inconveniences are the difference between a scare and a funeral. Manufacturers don't design safety systems for comfort. They design them because too many people have already died without them. Keep your interlocks, sensors, and belts functional, even if they slow you down. A working switch is easier to live with than a shattered rib cage. Some operators push that risk further by letting someone else ride along where they never should. Which brings us to the next one. 6. Letting passengers ride without proper seating. It looks innocent enough. Your kid wants a quick ride, or a friend hops on the fender to chat while you haul a load. But that one moment of convenience can turn lethal in seconds. Most tractors are built for one person, period. Without a second seat or belt, a bump, dip, or sudden turn can throw a rider straight under the rear wheel before you even realize they've fallen. Countless accidents start with, "We were just going slow." There's no such thing as safe footing on a moving tractor. Even standing on a step or hanging from the side becomes a gamble once the tires start to bounce. Manufacturers that include a buddy seat do it with built-in restraints for a reason. Anything else is gambling with weight and balance that wasn't designed for passengers. And if that one didn't hit close enough, the next mistake is one that quietly ruins control. 7. Forgetting to engage four-wheel drive on slopes. It's one of those mistakes that sneaks up on you. You roll onto a gentle hill or a slick field, confident that your rear tires will grip the ground. For a few seconds, everything feels fine, until your front end starts to slide and the tractor suddenly feels like it has a mind of its own. Without four-wheel drive engaged, you've lost half your traction and nearly all your braking control. Your front wheels aren't pulling, they're just passengers, and that's when gravity takes over. The result? You can spin, drift sideways, or even roll before you have time to hit the brakes. The thing most operators don't realize is that four-wheel drive isn't just for climbing muddy slopes, it's also for stopping safely and steering straight when things go wrong. Engaging it gives you extra grip and braking stability across all four tires, especially on uneven, soft, or wet ground. Many accidents happen simply because someone forgot to flip that switch or figured the job was too quick to need it. Now, flat ground can turn deadly when you drive across it the wrong way. Which brings us to the next one. 8. Driving sideways or downhill the wrong way. There's a rule every tractor operator learns sooner or later, sometimes the hard way. Never drive across a hill. It feels faster and more convenient to cut sideways across a slope instead of taking the long route up or down. But that's how rollovers start. When you drive sideways, your tractor's weight shifts toward the downhill side, and one small bump, rut, or soft patch is all it takes to tip the balance. Once that center of gravity moves too far, you can't stop the roll. Add a raised loader or a full bucket, and you've practically doubled your risk. Even small side slopes can flip smaller tractors that don't have wide wheelbases or added ballast. The smart way to work on hills is to always move straight up and straight down, keeping your bucket low and your speed slow. If the slope looks questionable, trust your instincts. It's not worth gambling on stability. Next up, this simple mistake into a fire you can't fight. 9. Working without fire extinguishers or first aid gear. It's the kind of oversight that feels harmless until something goes wrong. Most tractor operators focus on maintenance, attachments, and fuel, but rarely think about what happens after an accident starts. A fire extinguisher or first aid kit can turn a catastrophe into a close call, yet many tractors don't have either on board. Hydraulic fluid leaks, shorted electrical lines, or even a pile of dry straw near a hot exhaust can ignite faster than you'd believe. By the time you sprint back to the barn for help, that small flame has become an inferno. A compact, ABC-rated fire extinguisher mounted near the operator's seat can make all the difference. It's not a luxury, it's a survival tool. And the same goes for first aid gear. A cut from barbed wire or a crushed finger under a hitch pin can turn dangerous fast, especially miles away from help. The best operators treat safety gear like any other essential part of the tractor. Check it, restock it, and keep it close. You can't predict every hazard, but you can prepare for the ones that will happen eventually. Even with all the gear in place, some farmers make this crucial mistake. 10. Removing safety guards from equipment. Every tractor and implement comes with guards, shields, and covers for a reason, but after a few seasons, many operators start to see them as a nuisance. Maybe they rattle, maybe they get in the way of maintenance, or maybe someone just thinks they know what they're doing. That's how tragedies begin. Those flimsy-looking shields around PTO shafts, belts, and blades are what stand between you and a trip to the emergency room. Remove one, and suddenly you're exposing moving parts spinning fast enough to shred clothing, catch jewelry, or slice through bone. It only takes one slip of concentration to make a permanent mistake. Even small implements like tillers or brush hogs can eject stones, debris, or metal fragments at lethal speeds if their discharge guards are missing. The idea that guards waste time or aren't necessary for quick jobs has been disproven by too many accidents to count. Properly installed covers don't just protect you, they protect everyone nearby, including family or farmhands standing within range. Before each use, take 5 minutes to check that every guard is in place and secured. Those few minutes could be the difference between a productive day and one you never walk away from. And while loose guards can be deadly, nothing endangers a tractor faster than this next one. 11. Pulling heavy loads from above the rear axle. Here's a mistake that looks harmless right up until the tractor flips over backward. Farmers often hook chains or ropes high on the rear frame when trying to pull out a stump, drag a trailer, or free a stuck vehicle. It feels like common sense. Higher means more leverage, right? Wrong. When you pull from above the rear axle, the force of resistance shifts the tractor's center of gravity upward. Instead of transferring that power into forward motion, it rotates the entire tractor around its back wheels. In seconds, the front end lifts. The operator loses control and the whole machine somersaults. This is called a rear overturn, and it's one of the deadliest tractor accidents there is. Even modern rollover bars can't always save you if the tractor goes straight back before you can hit the clutch. The solution is simple but ignored far too often. Always hook below the axle, preferably to the drawbar. That low connection point keeps your pulling force aligned with the ground instead of against gravity. It might mean taking smaller pulls or slower progress, but at least it means you'll live to finish the job. And if that one didn't make you tighten your grip, the next mistake definitely will. 12. Leaving the tractor unsecured during maintenance. It sounds like something only a rookie would do, until it happens to someone who's been driving for decades. You hop off the tractor for a quick fix, maybe to check a leak, tighten a pin, or clear debris from a blade, and suddenly the machine starts to roll. A simple oversight like forgetting to set the parking brake, drop the loader, or lower a rear attachment can turn deadly fast. Even parked tractors can move when left in gear or on a slope, especially if hydraulic pressure bleeds off. Once that happens, a heavy loader or attachment can slam to the ground with crushing force, or the entire tractor can creep forward into a person, a wall, or another machine. Every operator should make secure before step-off a reflex. That means lowering all hydraulics to the ground, setting the brake, disengaging the PTO, and shutting the engine off before leaving the seat. When possible, chock the wheels for extra security, especially on uneven terrain. Too many fatalities happen inside barns, workshops, and yards, not in open fields. Up next, we've got the mistake that turns close calls into full-blown disasters. 13. Entanglement risks. Here's one of the most brutal and preventable types of accidents on any farm: being run over or caught in moving machinery. It usually starts with good intentions. Someone walks alongside a tractor to help guide it, or steps in quickly to clear a branch or hose from the path. But tractors don't stop on a dime. The operator's view is often blocked by the loader or hood, and there's no reverse sensor or camera to warn them someone's there. In seconds, that split-second helpful move turns into tragedy. Farm safety data shows that nearly 60 people a year die from tractor runovers in the U.S. alone, and most victims are family members or co-workers who were just standing nearby. Then, there's entanglement when clothing, gloves, or even hair gets caught in rotating equipment. Once something is pulled into a PTO shaft or spinning belt, escape is almost impossible. That's why stay-back zones aren't just a suggestion, they're survival rules. Keep a clear buffer around any moving equipment, and never assume an operator sees you. If you thought that can be brutal, wait till you hear the next one. 14. Underestimating road dangers when driving near vehicles. Tractors might rule the fields, but on public roads, they're slow, bulky targets. Most rural accidents happen not because farmers are reckless, but because drivers around them are. Cars zoom past wide farm equipment, misjudge distances, or tailgate tractors as if they're regular vehicles. The problem? A fully loaded tractor can't stop quickly, and its blind spots are massive. A sudden brake or swerve from a car can put both vehicles in the ditch. Even with reflective triangles and flashing lights, impatient drivers often underestimate how slow a tractor really moves. Collisions between tractors and passenger vehicles kill dozens every year, and not just the drivers of the smaller cars. Farmers have been crushed, thrown, or pinned between machines after being rear-ended or sideswiped. To stay safe, visibility is everything. Always use hazard lights, clean reflectors, and drive close to the right edge of the road when possible. Avoid sudden turns without signaling far in advance. If traffic piles up behind you, pull over safely and let vehicles pass. And finally, we come to one last common mistake that's way more destructive than you'd think. 15. Using the wrong gear or attachment for the job. It sounds like a beginner's mistake, but even seasoned farmers get caught by this one. Using the wrong gear, speed, or attachment doesn't just wear your tractor out, it can destroy it, and you along with it. Shifting into a higher gear while pulling a heavy load puts tremendous strain on your drivetrain, causing sudden jerks that can throw you off balance or snap a hitch clean in two. Using an implement that's too large for your horsepower rating, like an oversized mower, tiller, or auger, forces the engine to overwork, overheats hydraulic systems, and drastically reduces control. A small miscalculation like running the PTO at the wrong RPM can send attachments spinning dangerously fast, turning routine work into chaos. Even the wrong tires can create hazards. Road tires on muddy fields or turf tires on gravel can turn traction loss into a rollover. The best operators always match equipment to purpose, correct gear range, right RPM, and properly rated implements. Those details aren't just for efficiency, they're for survival. Every tractor is engineered for specific limits, and when you push past them, those limits push back hard. Which of these mistakes have you come closest to making? Let us know in the comments below. If you learned something new today, make sure to give the channel a subscription. See you in the next one.